In a small Inupiat village nestled in the icy tundra of Alaska, there lived a little child. Her name was Qannik, and she lived in an Inupiat village. And here's the picture of an Inupiat village. It's pretty big, and it's at least for the North Slope, anyway. Uh, Qannik was a curious and adventurous child, always exploring the vast wilderness. She loved the surroundings of her village. She loved to play with animals, and she played with all kinds. She played with the seals if she could. She played with the owls when she saw them. She played with the caribou, and the caribou were very difficult because they always was in a herd. She loved to climb the mountains and explore the rivers. There were plenty of rivers around that she could explore, and she loved that. She loved that kind of stuff. Um, Despite her young age, Qannik was wise beyond her years. She had a deep respect for the earth. The earth was a place where she loved, and she respected it a great deal. She also respected all these creatures that were around her, and she loved to keep an eye on them, and they kept an eye on her. She was in harmony with her natural surroundings. Her parents and elders often marveled at her understanding of the world and her ability at such a young age to communicate. She could communicate very, very well for that young age. One day, a wise traveler came into town, and he had some information that he wanted to share with her, and he did. He was a holy man, a prophet, who spoke about something called the kingdom of heaven. Kingdom of heaven. What's that? And here's what he said. He said, in the kingdom of heaven, the greatest among them who lived there, would be honored and revered. That means really respected. And he said, they are far and few. Qannik was fascinated by his words and asked many questions about this kingdom of heaven. She thought, what in the world is that? Well, the holy man listened to her questions and was impressed. He was impressed by her wisdom. She had wisdom beyond her years. And he was impressed. He thought, wow, this young girl has some unique understanding. He saw in her some purity. Purity. And this purity was very, very good. He saw in her a purity of heart. And he said that he saw that her spirit was very positive, and he had never encountered that in a child so young. So he said to her, he said something very important that we want to remember. He said to her, truly I tell you, unless everyone changes and become like you or like a little child, they'll never be able to enter the kingdom of heaven. They'll never be able to get into this place. So Qannik asked, well, where is it? He said, it's in the heart. And unless you are humble, which is one of your Inupiat values, unless you have humility, you will not be able to get in. Because the greatest in the kingdom of heaven is the innocence of a child. Qannik was overjoyed. She really was, because she knew that he was talking about her. So she took what he said to heart. She continued to live her life in as humble a way as she could. She continued to live her life in harmony with the animals, and she continued to live her life in harmony with the world in which she lived, her planet. And she thought, I will always seek to learn from the animals and from the earth. And in time, she became known throughout the land as one of the humblest persons and the greatest among them. And naturally, when she moved on in life, she embraced the wisdom of the wise man and her own wisdom. And she found her way to the kingdom of heaven. The end.